Endra, the Operation Recover All Loot Committee, President Mahama Etiye, headed by Ura Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, handed over their report to the president, and then the president afterwards equally handed the document together with the full details of the report, back to the Attorney General and then his office. Enti anope enoho enkomo. Mamima Ura Vitus Azeem, a very good morning. He is an anti-corruption campaigner. Na anope meneno any enkomo. Mr. Azeem, if you can hear me, good morning and thanks for your time. Hello, Mr. Azeem.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much for your time, and we are grateful you could join us this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Very well. So first off, I mean, as a country, President Mahama took such an initiative to put up a committee and then as well to allow the committee receive complaints from the public of corruption-related matters. Now, finally, the committee has submitted its findings and report to the Office of the President. Subsequently, has been transferred to the Office of the Attorney General. How do we move forward from here?
Well, these are just complaints or allegations. It is not enough. The Attorney General cannot take action on most of them without going forward to conduct in-depth investigations into these matters. And the Attorney General cannot handle everything. So he may have to go through them and decide which case should go to the OSP, which case should go to Yoko, and which case should go to the police or to SHAG before then deciding on whether to prosecute anybody or not. Because we're a democracy, and you cannot say that, oh, we've got this information about you, this is what is happening. But I also expect that if you are affected, you have been already investigated by order, and you admit that you've done something wrong, you've taken money illegally, and you have the money on you, you should just come forward and give the money back to them. Better than being dragged through an investigation and possibly caught for prosecution. When you do that, maybe plea bargain, you might be able to reduce whatever punishment you will get. Because if this money doesn't belong to you, if this land was for the state, and you bought it at a ridiculously low price, what do you lose if you return the house or the land to the states and take back your money? Or even if you don't take the money, you already knew it was wrong and you did it. Why wait to be dragged through the process and all that? So I think there are two approaches. The Attorney General has his method, and then I also expect the individuals involved to voluntarily do what is required of them.
Now, interestingly, I mean, given details of the report, the committee's chair, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, gave an indication that a total of 2,417 complaints were received from the public. Out of it, a total of 230 cases were subjected to detailed review as at 6 p.m. on the 9th of February 2025. Now, he goes further to say that 59 cases reviewed prior to Operation Recover All Loot, and 44 petitions were received directly by members of the committee. Out of the many complaints, 924 emails were received, and then 1,493 personal phone calls were as well received. I mean, these are few details they've given us out of the many works they've done. Ghanaians are asking for a publication of the total report so that, I mean, at least we get to see and understand the context for which this committee has done their work. Is that a right call?
Well, it's a right call, and the chairman of Oral has given the way by giving the details of their work.
Kessben.
It is the promotion of transparency. So now, but publishing the report, it remains with the president. The president asks them to do the work. They have given the report to the president. The president will decide whether to publish or not. It is not the Oral Committee that will decide whether to publish or not.
Okay.
And the president may delay for further investigations because there could be wrongly accused persons who will come out to say, well, you've spoiled my name, by doing this when I'm not guilty. So they may need to look at it further before they now if they want to publish those that are clear cases of violation of the law.
Yes, but the oral team, I mean, the formation of the committee itself came in with a wide acceptance by the general public. To a far extent, Ghanaians will be much interested in knowing which cases are on the table of the Attorney General as we speak. So without giving much details as to which individuals are involved with those particular cases, at least Ghanaians can get to know a fair idea of which cases we are talking about. For instance, if we are dealing with Seglemi, then we know Seglemi is on the table of the Attorney General. Then we can squarely follow up on this particular matters. But in the absence of this, we do not know which cases we are talking about. And would that be fair to the good people of Ghana?
I'm saying that it may not be fair, but it will depend on the president's discretion now. Oral has done his work. They have submitted their report to the president. It's left to the president on the advice of the Attorney General to decide whether to give out the details or not, or to wait until the further investigations have been conducted, and then it becomes necessary to publish the names that have been found by the investigative body to be culpable.
Now, the other concerns will have to do with, I mean, the quantification in terms of real nominal figures. The chairman of the committee indicated that over some 20.49 billion US dollars can be retrieved through this particular exercise. I mean, how do we achieve this as a country?
Well, I've told you, they have already talked to the people already. They have gathered evidence that these monies were actually taken illegally.
Okay.
If I am involved, I will not wait to be dragged further. If I've got the money, I'll just refund it. And as I said, that will reduce the sanctions that may come on me. They may just say, okay, pay interest on what you have taken. Because you've taken this money for 4 years, you've done business with it, you've made profit on it, you need to add an interest. Or the exchange rate has changed, those kind of things. But where people are recalcitrant, then the further investigations will be conducted and the necessary action taken. Even with the necessary action taken, there could be administrative sanctions without going to court. But there could also be criminal cases. So that is the situation.
Yes, but
okay.
Yes, carry on.
No, I was just, somebody was talking to me.
Very well. But the concerns again will be that, I mean, many people have criticized the legality of the formation of this particular committee. But in contest, if the oral team, together with the Attorney General, is able to save Ghana some 20 billion US dollars, I mean, will we ask for its stay as a committee to continue with its work? Or better still, we will ask for its dissolution as of the time being?
I think that if the president finds it necessary to have an order in place, then he probably needs to bring a bill before Parliament to pass it, to give legal backing to the committee. Besides, the members of order were doing this voluntarily. They have their full-time jobs.
Yes.
The chairman is a member of Parliament, and now he's a minister of foreign. Minister of foreign affairs.
Yes.
Martin Kessben is a private legal practitioner. Raymond Archer has been appointed
Deputy CEO of Yoko.
Yeah, Yoko. So it will not be proper to keep them in an oral committee that will be institutionalized. But their work has pointed the direction for any future body that you may want to consider.
But are you surprised to note that, I mean, 39 cases came in as complaints with regards to the National Cathedral project and that of PDS? I mean, quite a number of complaints coming from these two particular cases. Is this something surprising?
No, it's not surprising because from the very beginning of those two projects, people said it was wrong. And the president went ahead and look at the destruction that they did with bungalows being removed mowed down and having to accommodate people in hotels only to dig a hole. And you see, it shows that everybody's concerned. And when I am making a complaint, I don't know that you are also making the same complaint. But we are both concerned and we want something to be done about it. So definitely there's no surprise about that.
It looks as if it stopped the chart of the cases that came in. I mean, PDS and then National Cathedral. But again, with PDS, how do we deal with the matters? Because it's been quite a long time since PDS was in place. And then many have said that they came in and then collected monies from Ghanaians without being accountable to the good people of Ghana. With the coming into force of this report, should we revisit the operations of PDS and then make sure we retrieve back the monies that were collected from Ghanaians?
Definitely. Then what's the use of the oral? if they've got genuine complaints that can be substantiated, then it's left to the authorities to now pursue the people. Because some of these things, we just saw that monies were paid to so-called consultants and lawyers for virtually nothing done. So definitely there are things that we need to pursue. And that's why oral will probably be disbanded or institutionalized, making a legal system, and then helping the Attorney General or the President to carry out his anti-corruption mandate.
But before I let you go, Mr. Azeem, now, on one hand, we are seeking to fight corruption with Operation Recover or Loot. But on the other hand, I mean, the Attorney General, who just assumed office a few weeks ago, is also on the trajectory of, withdrawing almost every case that was being held in court by the former government. So you talk of Collins Dowd's Seglemi Affordable Housing Project. You talk of issues that has to do with Dr. Johnson Esiama, and then with the coming into force of the collapse of the banks and its related matters. I mean, many more cases that were pending in court. The Attorney General has filed a nolle prosequi. So the question is that what is the moral justification for you seeking to fight corruption whilst you are already continuing an existing case that we do have in court? I mean, how do you discontinue one and yet go ahead to prosecute the other?
The simple question is, how do you discontinue a case which you don't believe in? You don't have enough evidence to pursue. You see, some of these cases have been on for about 7 years. The prosecutors have not been able to prove any case against the people. Why do you think that a new government should also continue to prosecute cases that the people that brought to court did not have enough evidence to successfully prosecute them? You see, and some of them were clearly seen to be politically motivated cases. And that's why the Attorney General may have justification for withdrawing them.
Yes, but
like somebody has said, he needs to give us explanation for those actions.
Exactly the question I was coming to.
But you see, the other side of it, let me finish. The other side of it is that I feel that if they allow the court to come and say, no, we haven't, there's no justification for these cases, and declare them exonerated, that would have been cleared better. But now people are still going to say, oh, some of them were guilty, but because they belong to the ruling party, that's why they dropped the case. So that's the other side of it. And I thought that they shall just allow the courts to hasten the cases and then come out with a decision or a ruling instead of the Attorney General withdrawing them. Because after all, when the Attorney General goes to the court and he cannot provide adequate evidence, then the court can now rule that, oh no, this one, there's no case. But just to say that you're not interested in it, it's not helping the individuals involved because the perception will still be there.
Exactly the point, because, I mean, The Attorney General just filed a nolle prosequi without, telling the public the reasons behind that. But the question again will be that is it really because of a lack of substantial evidence in prosecuting those matters, or it is really the case of lack of political will to continue with that particular prosecution? Because again, the case of Seydou Agongo and then Opuni has been in the court for more than 8 years, and yet we've not seen any level of confiscation as well. The court either coming out with a judgment. So, it brings back the question of integrity, the question of moral right to prosecute other issues, whilst you still have this substantial ones pending in court, awaiting the Ghanaian people and then the court as well, receiving outcomes of these particular cases. And so how do we proceed from here? Tomorrow, if these cases are coming again in court from the oral report, will Ghanaians wholeheartedly accept, what the Attorney General is going to do after knowing what he's been able to do in time past?
Yes, so I will support Martin Pebbles' call for the Attorney General to come out and explain the rationale behind the decision to withdraw these cases for Ghanaians to know. That will solve the problem.
Very well. But in the absence of this, we have to just wait for the cases and the report that has been submitted, and then the onward action that will be taken by the Attorney General, I presume.
Yes, please.
Very well. Azeem, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you too.
Vitus Azeem, a anti-corruption campaigner, speaking to us at 2 after 8. Hi, Kessben, 92.9. Your numbers